Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival with Lone Debater 7. Today we're gonna do some exploration with our small vehicle. So I made a little bit more fuel just to top up the tank, and then our oxygen finished making from last time. So we will fill that up. So as you can see, it only takes 3 to fully max this with oxygen, which is great. With this, we'll leave oxygen off for now. We can turn that on later, but we're going to power up, and we're going to kind of show you how these work. So to take off, space is up, C is down, and then it kind of is just like walking. WASD to pilot. I believe there's like ways to do rolls and stuff like that, but you know, I'm not that fancy. But as you can see, it's pretty cool. You can fly around, and this is obviously significantly faster than a hover vehicle. It goes up to 63 meters per second instead of about 30, so it's twice as fast, and you don't have to deal with terrain, so you can line of sight things, which is great. With that being said, I am going to reload our miniguns just in case someone decides they want to play. We can take them out. So Q does like a barrel roll, it looks like. I'm just doing that so I can hopefully get us back to flat. And we're going to basically just fly around and see if we can find some more ore deposits. I'm hoping we can maybe find the gold deposit while we're out. And yeah, so you want to stay relatively low, otherwise you have to be pretty close to the point of interest or ore deposit for it to locate. But that's fine. I mean, I think this is a decent height for us to be able to find stuff. Obviously we went through some radiated fog, so that's good. But really we want ore is what we want. So hopefully we find some good deposits and can make that happen. So as you can see, our little reticle is doing what it's supposed to. Like, it's showing us where items are and marking them for us to locate. So I am gonna try. My guess is, since we're in Xerax territory, that it's gonna be their little base things, which is okay. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. So spaceport, that'll launch ships, so we want to stay away. A, because it'll launch ships, and B, because they probably have turrets that will shoot us down, which I don't really want to have happen, primarily because if they take out an engine or whatever, you lose control of the ship. So with that being said, we're just gonna mark it and move on. That way we don't end up boning ourselves, right? So let's look over here. There's apparently something this way. It's probably this little guy. It's my guess. Some sort of outpost. Power station. Fun. Shit. There's stuff there. That's not what I wanted to do. There's another power station. Cool. As you can see, so there's red dots indicating the buildings and that they're unfriendly towards us, so you can kind of tell that way. But yeah, so this is kind of how the small vehicle works. It's quite fun. I mean, you're in the air, so that's always kind of cool. And then, yeah, you can kind of just stop and hover midair for a minute and readjust your trajectory or whatever you want to do, so you're pointing in a direction you haven't been. Now, another thing you can use these vehicles for is to go between planets, which is also pretty awesome. I mean, if I do say so myself, I think that's awesome, that they have multiple planets in the system. That was before the big update that added different star systems, but in order to go to those, you actually have to build a capital vessel, because a capital vessel will have warp capabilities, whereas these ships do not. As far as I'm aware, I don't believe they have warp on these ships unless they change something, which is possible. I mean, they change stuff all the time, but yeah. So we're gonna see if we can't. I'm just seeing how to turn the other way. I'm sure there's a button to roll in the opposite direction. I mean, we're rolling counterclockwise with Q, but there should be a way to roll clockwise as well. I think. I don't. Maybe there's not, but I'm pretty sure there is. I just don't know what the button is. Anyway, so we're gonna keep flying. Hopefully something will show up on our radar so we can get some more ore, because honestly we're pretty low on copper, all things considered. So I'd like to find a copper deposit. We do have some other iron and silicon deposits that we found while scouting with the hover vehicle that we can always fly to, no big deal. But yeah, the ore is kind of what we're looking for. Oh, well, there's some sort of enemy down there, but that's fine. We're gonna just avoid him because I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, so this is kind of what you get to do during the mid-game, I would call it, is you have your small vehicle, you kind of fly around, locate all the stuff on the planet that you started on, and then you can also go to other planets if you want. There's also space stations and things. I believe most of the space stations are owned by the Polaris, if not all of them. But those are pretty cool. You can spend in-game currency, which I believe you need gold to make, in order to, you know, buy things. So, like, you can buy the farming plots, which would probably a good thing for us to set up is farming, since we haven't yet. You also can buy, like, weapons and armor. I'm sure they probably have the upgrade modules for the armor now, too. And a bunch of other things. So, it's kind of fun to kind of, you know, check that stuff out and see. Sometimes it's a good way to, you know, get a jump from where you are by purchasing an item as opposed to unlocking it with tech points and then building it, getting the resources, whatever. So we're in Xerax territory again, fun stuff, but there's a bunch of items. So this is why it's a fortification. Cool. We're gonna avoid that before they shoot us down. Found a radar station. Cool. Should be something out this way. Ooh, promethium. Nice. I'm not going to mine it because it's in Xerax territory, but good to know. The way promethium mining works, it's a little bit different than the other ores. You've seen me mine other ores before. It's kind of like a giant, you know, ore deposit that you mine out. Well, with promethium, there are actually smaller rocks that are hidden underneath the ground. So when you equip your mining laser from your survival tool, it'll show you like a blue outline. They're like oval shaped, whatever. So you mine down to that, and that's the promethium rock. The deposit that we found that wasn't in anybody's territory that I mined had one rock. So that gave us the like 70, I think, maybe, that we have of promethium. So they're dense, but you may not get a lot at one time. So promethium deposits are, it's good to know where several are, so when you mine one, you're not, you know, running out of fuel. But anyway, not too bad. You know, flying around's I like this part of the game personally because I think it's fun. But you know, it's kind of each their own, whatever you enjoy. So this is some sort of building. This is probably Polaris, maybe? Oh, no, just a crash ship. Okay. So we might go loot that because these, at least the Titan that I scavenged, which is a like super huge capital vessel or whatever, they had some like pretty good stuff. I got a second multi-tool out of one of the boxes, and it has other base components, things like that. But sometimes that's a helpful way to get more of the advanced materials when you maybe don't have the ores on your spawning planet to build them. So anyway, like in order to build some of the stuff, we need to get like neodymium and things like that, which are not, it's not hard to get that, you just have to go off world. But you know, if you're not at the point where you can go off world yet, sometimes you can find or like an energy matrix is what I was looking at. I think I need that to build the drill, perhaps. Anyway, whatever it is that I needed the energy matrix for, you need neodymium and cobalt, I believe, in order to make it, which I don't have. So, just something to keep in mind. It's good to kind of scout those out. We found another Polaris base, so that's good. This one looks like it has a pretty big trading station, which is nice. So mining station, security, cool. Another mining station. So they have like some ore